I've worked on cars for 22 years. I've seen everything. Drugs, cash, weapons. Nothing shook me. Until the day a blacked-out Rolls-Royce Cullinan rolled into my garage in Detroit. No appointment. Driver paid in cash. Walked out before I could ask a single question. Something felt wrong. I couldn't explain it. When I popped the trunk to check the spare, my hands stopped moving. My heart stopped with them. Inside that trunk was a photograph, old, faded at the edges. A woman holding a baby boy in front of a yellow house. I recognized the woman. I recognized the house. But that was impossible, because that photograph had been sitting in a shoebox under my bed for the last 19 years. This was my mother. This was my childhood home, and I had never seen this car before in my life. My name is Caleb Durst. I own a one-man shop on the east side of Detroit. Nothing fancy, just grease, tools, and honest work. That Tuesday started like every other, until it didn't. The Rolls-Royce pulled in at 7:43 a.m. I remember because I checked my watch twice. Blacked out windows, no plates. The driver stepped out, and my first thought was, this car doesn't belong on this street. My second thought was, this man doesn't want to be seen. He wore a gray overcoat, hat pulled low. He slid $300 bills across my workbench without a word. Trunk latch, fix it. That's all he said. Before I could respond, he walked out. No phone number, no name, no explanation for why a car worth $500,000 was sitting in my garage on the east side of Detroit. I stood there holding $300. Then I noticed something that stopped my breathing entirely. On his wrist, just before his sleeve dropped, was a scar. A scar shaped exactly like a burn mark, the same burn mark my father had. My father's name was Raymond Durst. He died when I was 9 years old. That's what my mother told me. House fire. Nothing left. No body recovered. No funeral. Just a closed casket and a mother who never spoke his name again. I believed that story for 31 years. But that scar, I'd seen it 1,000 times in the one photograph I had of him. A burn mark running from the left wrist to the forearm, shaped like a crescent moon. My mother said he got it in a factory accident before I was born. There is no other scar like that in the world. And the man who just walked out of my garage had it. I dropped the money. I ran to the door. The street was empty. No man, no footprints, nothing, like he evaporated into the cold Detroit morning. But the Rolls-Royce was still there, still running. I turned back toward it slowly. And that's when I noticed the trunk wasn't fully closed. It was open just enough to see that something inside was moving. I grabbed the nearest wrench. My hands weren't steady. My breathing wasn't either. I walked toward that trunk one slow step at a time, wrench raised, heart hammering so loud I could hear it over the idling engine. I reached out, lifted the trunk fully open, and froze. It wasn't a person. It was a dog, a small beagle, trembling. Collar around its neck with a tag that read, "Don't call the police. Just wait." I stumbled backward. Don't call the police. Just wait. Who writes that on a dog collar? Who does that? I looked up and down the street again. Still empty. I checked my phone. No missed calls, no messages from any unknown number. I looked back at the beagle. It hadn't moved, just stared at me with these enormous still eyes, like it had been trained to deliver this exact moment. Then my shop phone rang. The landline. Nobody calls that number. Nobody even knows it exists anymore. I keep it connected for one reason only. It was the number my mother used to call me on. Before she disappeared 3 years ago, my apprentice, Jordan, walked in through the side door at exactly that moment, coffee in hand, earbuds in, completely unprepared for what he was about to see. He stopped cold, took in the running Rolls-Royce, the open trunk, the beagle sitting perfectly still on my workbench, and me, standing motionless over the ringing landline, not answering it. "Caleb, what is going on?" I didn't answer him either. The phone kept ringing. 7 rings, 8, 9. Jordan pulled his earbuds out slowly, The casual energy drained completely from his face. Something about the silence in that garage, the running engine, the ringing phone, the unblinking dog, told him this wasn't normal. "Caleb, answer it." His voice dropped to almost a whisper. I picked up the receiver, silence on the other end. Then, breathing, slow and deliberate. Then a voice, female, older, shaking slightly. "Caleb, don't trust the man who brought that car." My vision blurred. I knew that voice. Jordan watched my face go white and took one step backward toward the door. "Caleb, who is that?" It was my mother. My apprentice, Jordan, walked in through the side door at exactly that moment, coffee in hand, earbuds in, completely unprepared for what he was about to see. He stopped cold, took in the running Rolls-Royce, the open trunk, the Beagle sitting perfectly still on my workbench, and me, standing motionless over the ringing landline, not answering it. "Caleb, what is going on?" I didn't answer him either. The phone kept ringing. 7 rings, 8, 9. Jordan pulled his earbuds out slowly. The casual energy drained completely from his face. Something about the silence in that garage, the running engine, the ringing phone, the unblinking dog, told him this wasn't normal. "Caleb, answer it." His voice dropped to almost a whisper. I picked up the receiver, silence on the other end. Then, breathing, slow and deliberate. Then a voice, female, older, shaking slightly. "Caleb, don't trust the man who brought that car." My vision blurred. I knew that voice. Jordan watched my face go white and took one step backward toward the door. "Caleb, who is that?" It was my mother. My mother had been missing for 3 years. No trace, no body, no goodbye. She vanished from her apartment in Cleveland on a Wednesday morning, half-eaten breakfast still on the table, front door wide open. Police ruled it a voluntary disappearance. I never believed that. "Mom!" My voice cracked before I could finish the word. "Listen to me carefully. Do not speak. Just listen." Her voice was controlled, too controlled, like she'd rehearsed this exact call. "The man who brought that car. His name is not important yet. What's in that car is, look underneath the spare tire. There is an envelope. Take it. Hide it. Tell nobody." Jordan was still watching me, reading my face like a headline. I mouthed, "Leave the room." He didn't move. "Mom, where are you? Are you safe?" A pause. 3 full seconds. "The photograph you found, that house, that baby, that's not your past, Caleb." My throat tightened. "That's your future." The line went dead. I stood there holding a silent receiver while the Beagle jumped off the workbench and walked directly to the spare tire. The envelope was exactly where she said, thin, brown, sealed with red wax, stamped with an emblem I didn't recognize. An eagle with 2 heads facing opposite directions. Jordan was still in the room. I'd stopped asking him to leave. I broke the seal. Inside, 3 things. First, a birth certificate, Michigan, 1983. Child's name, Caleb Raymond Durst. Father's name, not Raymond Durst. The name on that line made my knees buckle. Walter Grayson, Mercer III. Jordan leaned over my shoulder and read it, then read it again. "Caleb, that's the Walter Mercer, as in Mercer Industries, as in the 5th richest man in America." I couldn't speak. Second item, a photograph. The same woman and baby from the trunk, but this time unfolded completely. A man stood beside them, tall, gray overcoat, the same man who had walked into my garage this morning. Third item, a handwritten note, 4 words only. "He knows you're ready." Outside, a black SUV slowly rolled to a stop directly in front of my shop. 2 men in suits stepped out. Neither of them was smiling. Jordan grabbed my arm. "Back door, now." I didn't move. Something shifted inside me in that moment. 31 years of grief. 3 years of searching for my mother. A lifetime of believing I was nobody. a mechanic on the east side of Detroit with grease under his fingernails and no last name worth mentioning. I stuffed the envelope inside my jacket and walked toward the front door. Jordan hissed behind me. "Caleb, what are you doing?" "What I should have done 3 years ago." I opened the door before they could knock. 2 men, identical black suits, earpieces. The one on the left held a manila folder with my name printed on the tab. They didn't look threatening. They looked relieved. "Mr. Durst," the taller one spoke carefully. "My name is Agent Cole Harmon. We've been looking for you for a very long time." "Federal?" "Private security, Mercer Industries." My jaw tightened. "Where is my mother?" Harmon glanced at his partner. Something passed between them, a look I couldn't fully read. "She's safe. She's been with Mr. Mercer for the last 3 years. Protecting you."